You know, looking back, owning a restaurant in the 1970s wasn't just a business, it was a different universe. I had this burning vision for a place in downtown Los Angeles called La Siesta, right at the corner of Wilshire and Grand. I took an old shell-shocked travel agency and I didn't just remodel it, I resurrected it. I turned it into something spectacular. I'm talking first class, one of a kind, hand-carved doors thrown open to the city, strolling mariachis in full charro regalia, moving through the crowd like ghosts of another era. The absolute heart of the room was this massive 360-degree circular bar, the only one like it in Los Angeles. I designed it with a round wall of arches and solid oak inserts so the diners could look in and see the action, but if you were sitting at that bar, you were in a sanctuary, you had your privacy, and hanging right over the center of it all, the biggest, most audacious chandelier in the city. Everything was top tier, we had beautiful murals behind the bar, and deep, tufted brown leather booths that just screamed luxury. My goal was simple but brutal. I wanted the hollandaise over in the lobby of the One Wilshire building across the street to look like a cheap cafeteria by comparison. When you walked in, the air itself was heavy. It was the scent of authentic Mexican cuisine, the sharp musical tinkle of glassware, and that mariachi music bringing a hush over the room as they weaved between the tables. And look, was I impressed that judges from the courthouse and high-powered U.S. senators were coming in? Of course. But you have to understand where I came from. I grew up in East LA. I certainly didn't come from money. My life started fast and hard. Before I was even 18, I was doing 2 years in juvenile detention for borrowing $3,500 from my girlfriend's mom. They called it grand theft. Later, I did 4 months in the brig for going AWOL and getting married for the first time. I was 17 then. This is all in the books, all 4 volumes of my autobiography, and still writing book 5. So yeah, having these heavy hitters walk through my doors, it was a trip, but I need to be real with you about why they were there. They weren't coming for me. They were coming because word had spread about this spectacular palace with the absolute lowest prices in the city. I'd undercut the competition just to get them in the door. We were selling pitchers of margaritas, monsters that served 4 or 5 people for $1 single. Now, $1 in the early 70s had more weight than it does today, sure, but even back then, that was dirt cheap. It was practically giving it away. And the place? It was a madhouse. There was a line outside waiting to get in from the moment we opened at noon until 2 in the morning when we locked the doors. It was busy, busy, busy. But that's the joke of it all. It was bound for destruction. I was packed to the gills, but I was digging a hole with every drink I poured. Between picking up every check and bad management, the popularity was the very thing that killed me. I didn't know how to run a restaurant. I just knew how to buy friends. I was barely 27, and I had to borrow, beg, and steal just to keep the lights on. People told me my prices were suicide. They told me to sell while I had the chance. Looking back now with clear eyes, they were right. I was just too stubborn to let go. This is just a glimpse, just a teaser of the chaos I've lived through that I haven't even put in the books yet. It's a wild story, and believe me, I'm just getting started.